Doctor. 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes. We shall start in approximately 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats now. Please take your seats now, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished and invited guests. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this landmark event here at the Accra City Hotel, hosted by the Ghana Tourism Federation and in concert with their stakeholders and partners under the theme, Stronger Together for Tourism, Hospitality, and Growth. You're welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go straight into the program. The first part of the program is going to be a strategic session. We are going to have keynote speakers come and make some statements to us. We're going to have a series of very interesting presentations, after which we will have finished with the strategic part, and then we can go on to the ceremonial part, which is the swearing in of functional committee chairpersons. So we have a part one and we have a part two. We're going to go through the program steadily and make sure that we account for everything. In terms of accounting for everything, we do have quite a large list here, ladies and gentlemen. I've been advised that the proper thing to do is ensure that everybody is accounted for. Now, it's quite a long list, ladies and gentlemen. You will appreciate that if I break it up segments, hopefully everybody will be covered. So this is how we're going to do it. Welcome once again. My name is Charles Ishen. I'm carrying the announcements for this morning's session. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few housekeeping rules. Phones are allowed, of course. We do have our cameramen and camera women here, but your phones are also very much allowed here. With the exception, ladies and gentlemen, please put them on silent or on vibrate so that it doesn't disturb the course of the proceedings. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure to visit this lovely environment here, for your convenience, the washrooms are just outside the event hall here to your right for ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I would like to begin mentioning a few names. With your permission, please, and observe the proper protocol. As I said, in the course of the event during this morning, I will be making periodic mentions of all of our distinguished guests, please. And so I would begin by acknowledging and thanking the presence of His Royal Majesty Nene Drolo Boso Adamte, who is the Council of State Representative for Greater Accra, the Honorable Ablaji Fagumashi, the Minister for Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts, who is today represented here by, and I'll just get this right, he's represented here by her excellent representative, Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo. Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo. Thank you for coming, sir. Dr. Geoffrey is the Director of Tourism at the Ministry. Happy to have you here today, sir. Mr. Joseph Kwesi Amwa, Chief Director, Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts. We especially also acknowledge the presence of Madam Mrs. Mamiefwa Wajeto, CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Thank you for coming, madam. We appreciate your presence, Professor Kweku Educhum Ayimboache, Chancellor of the Cape Coast Technical University, Cape Coast, Ghana. Thank you very much. Bishop John Kwamina Essel, the Pro-Chancellor and founder of Knutsford University College. Thank you, Bishop. Major General Matthew Kwekwesian, Ghana Armed Forces Commander at Staff College. Thank you for coming, sir. Henry Chinedu Onwuzurubu, Managing Director, Zenith Bank, Ghana. We're happy also to acknowledge the presence of Brigadier General Daniel Michio, Special Advisor to the Task Force, Ministry of Labor, Jobs and Employment. Brigadier General B.F. Kusi, Ghana Armed Forces. We're proud to have you here, sir. Brigadier General Charles Richter Ado, Ghana Armed Forces. We're proud to have him. And Brigadiers General Issa Wuni and Brigadier General Kweku Asamoah Yeboah, both of the Ghana Armed Forces. And finally, Mr. Eric Winfo, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Director General, National Protection Department of the Ghana Police Service. And so, ladies and gentlemen, quite an illustrious list here. During the course of the morning, I will entertain you more of such illustrious names. Do feel free to acknowledge them if they're sitting next to you. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to settle for the program. And I would like to begin, as is done traditionally, with a prayer. It is my distinct pleasure to invite to the podium Dr. Edward Aka Nyamiche, who is going to give us the opening prayer. Dr. Edward Aka Nyamiche for the opening prayer, please. Nyamike. Sir, if you will stand by me 1 second, I will announce your name one more time so that the prayers that you pray will touch the parts that they're meant to touch. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dr. Edward Nyamike. Aka Nyamike. Junior.
Good morning, everybody. I humbly request you to be on your feet as we pray. Let's come to the Holy Throne with all humility and reverence to our Creator. We pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Gracious and merciful Lord, we thank you so much for today. Indeed, this is the day you have made. and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for granting the wisdom and then the knowledge for the organization of this forum. We thank you for making it possible for all the invited guests to be here. We ask you to be here with us. Take your seat amongst us. Guide our thoughts, guide our minds, guide our contributions, and indeed, guide our presence here, and ensure that at the end of the day, this will be a memorable and a very successful gathering which will impact Ghana's tourism and hospitality industry. We know that when we pray to you, you listen and you answer us. And that's why we are very grateful for listening to us and answering our prayers in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to make a good start here now. It's common knowledge, I should think, that the Ghana Tourist Federation has got off to a flying start this year and has organized a few landmark events here today. Today is no less an important event, and perhaps it might be a good idea to reiterate the theme of today's gathering, which is Stronger Together for Tourism, Hospitality, and Growth. This is a landmark feature from the Ghana Tourist Federation, but I think at this time, there is no better person to give an account of what today is like than the president of the Ghana Tourism Federation, Mr. Seth Okran, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Seth Okran.
Good morning to you all. His Royal Majesty, Nenedrolo Bosu Adamite the First, Council of State, Representative Greater Accra, Honorable Ablan Jifa Gomashi, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Art, represented by Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo, Director of Tourism. Mrs. Mami Efia Wajeto, Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Tourism Authority. Professor Kweku Educhum Eyim Boache. Professor Lawyer Nana Opon, and let me say that we have some of our brothers and sisters watching us live online from the United States of America and other parts of the country. So Professor Lawyer Nana Opon is watching us from Canada and is the head of the legal committee. Thank you. Dr. Joseph Mensah Ansah, Dr. Ansah, thank you for coming. Dr. Cheryl Williamson, who is also a member of the Advisory Council and watching us from Dallas, USA. Dr. Edward Akanyamike, President, Ghana Hotel Association. My brother, you're welcome. Chairperson of the functional committees, heads of agency of Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. I can see my brother here, Mr. Gideon Ayukwe. Say you're welcome. Mr. Isaac Saki, the Vice President, Ghana Tourism Federation. Mr. Joseph Amate, National Secretary, Ghana Tourism Federation. And Ms. Edith Pinamine, Treasurer, Ghana Tourism Federation. And Dr. Patricia Owusu-Darko, who is the Financial Secretary, Ghana Tourism Federation. President of the Trade Association, who we call the Governing Council. Past President of GATOF, I can see Madam Stella Pentain, Okotechi Nanenim, and Dr. Nanaba Redu. So you are welcome. Cherished media partners, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Today is indeed a momentous occasion. First and foremost, I give thanks to the Almighty God for his grace and guidance. I also wish to express my profound gratitude to my executives, council, and governing council members of the Federation whose unwavering support I have enjoyed since we were sworn into office in January 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Majesty, on behalf of the Ghana Tourism Federation, I welcome you all for the joint declaration and media briefing on the National Professional Training and Certification Program and the Uplifting of Women in Tourism (IWIT) program, Choba Remodeling Initiative. My vision is to lead this noble federation towards greater efficiency, ensuring maximum welfare of our members and all stakeholders within the tourism and hospitality industry. To achieve this, we have committed ourselves to strategically collaborate with key institutions, strengthening our corporate governance structures, building robust systems, and partnering with competent professionals across diverse fields. At GATOF, we firmly believe that teamwork is the foundation of success. It is for this reason that we are gathered here this morning to brief the media on our joint and special initiatives in collaboration with the Ghana Tourism Authority, the Special Task Force, Health and Safety under the Ministry of Tourism, Labor, Jobs and Employment, Hotel Catering and Training Institute, HOTCAT, and the Ghana Tourism Development Company. Tourism and hospitality contribute significantly to our GDP. We believe that through our combined efforts, we can increase the sector's contribution from the current 5.7% to 10% by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Majesty, GATOF exists to give the Ghana private tourism sector a unified voice. But a voice is only as credible as the action that accompanies it. The Uplifting Women in Tourism (IWIT) program is the GATOF and GTA CEO Amiofia most ambitious program. What in over 3 decades of existence, and I believe it is the right program at the right time and for the right people. The women who operate Ghana's choice bars have never lacked talent, resilience, or ambition. What they have lacked is access to affordable finance, digital tools, and reliable energy, and the recognition of their enterprise deserve. These women feed the nation, and I repeat, they feed the nation. The IWIT program is designed to close these gaps simultaneously, anchored in over 30 institutional partnerships, and govern with the independence that serious investors rightly demand. I am grateful for the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority for the personal commitment to this program. I invite you all to join us in building a Ghana where every woman in tourism can compete, thrive, and be celebrated. When I assumed the presidency in January 2026, I made a simple but ambitious promise that GATOF would transform its members, not through rhetorics, but through systems. The National Professional Training and Certification Policy Framework is the fulfillment of that promise. It is built on our historic MOU signed with the Ministry of Labor, Jobs and Employment, the Special Task Force Health and Safety, under the chairmanship of Dr. Daniel Ayukwe and Brigadier General Daniel Mushio. Thank you for the support. NATFOR University, under the leadership of Bishop Kwamina Esel, HOTCAT under the leadership of Dr. Eric Kofi Amenope, and with curriculum co-designed by university partners, trade association, president, chore bar operators, hotel managers, tour guide, and tour operators, and car rental operators. I want to speak directly to our frontline workers. This program was designed with you in mind. The installment payment option, the training access fund, the blended learning model, and all exist because certification must be accessible and not just aspirational. GATOF is committed to making this the gold standard for tourism workforce development in West Africa. I ask every trade association, university partners, GTA officers, and program administrators to implement it with care and excellence, reflecting the high standard Ghana visitors deserve, and with pride in our industry and confidence in our people. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Professor Nana Opong, our legal advisor, whose counsel has been invaluable. There have been challenging moments, but his encouragement has always kept me focused. I also wish to sincerely appreciate Dr. Sherry Williamson for her immense support and encouragement, who is not here with us this morning, but watching live online from Dallas, USA. Dr. Grace Opunidakon and Jonathan Dakon, CEO and advisor to the TDJ's Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are equally gathered here to witness the swearing in of the 9 functional committees of GATOF, which will serve as the engine for driving our mandate. Advisory Council Chair by Dr. Joseph Mensah Ansah, Legal Committee Chair Professor Lawyer Nana Opong, Advocacy Functional Committee chaired by Dr. Kwesi Eyisin, Finance and Investment Committee chaired by Patrick Boatin Achiampong, Human Resource and Organizational Development chaired by Mrs. Alisa Osei Asamoah, Marketing and Public Relations chaired by Mr. Emmanuel Triku, Research Policy Development chaired by Mr. Kofi Akpabili, Judicial Committee chaired by Nana Ekuya Dansoa, Tourism and Safety Committee chaired by Brigadier General Daniel Mushio. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Majesty, together we can build a sustainable, inclusive, and job-creating tourism sector for Ghana. I would also like to acknowledge and appreciate Professor Kweku Boakye, Dr. Kobi Mensah, Eric Afenope, Mr. Isaac Ajay. Your passion and commitment to the tourism industry are truly commendable, and I'm grateful for your continued support and guidance. In conclusion, let us continue to work together in unity, purpose, and dedication to transform Ghana tourism and hospitality sector. With a round of applause, kindly join me in welcoming to the stage a distinguished leader, a woman who truly live and breathe tourism, to share her vision for the industry, Mami Ifia Wajeto, the Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Tourism Authority. Thank you. And God bless us all.
Ago. 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 I believe it's only proper to stand on existing protocols. The list was quite long, and I may leave some out, so I plead with you to stand on the existing protocols. Thank you very much, President Seth Okran. That was a beautiful delivery. It is a pleasure to welcome you all here today. This is not just another gathering, this is a working session. A moment where we move from conversation to implementation, because the truth is simple. Ghana's tourism sector has potential, great potential for that matter, but potential alone does not create jobs, does not improve service, and does not build competitive businesses. Action does, coordination does, partnership does. And that is why we are here today. Our theme says it all: stronger together for tourism and hospitality growth. Tourism is one of the few sectors where government sets the framework, the private sector drives growth, young people power service delivery, and partnerships determine success. No single institution can transform this sector alone. Not Ghana Tourism Authority, not GATOF, not HOTCAT. But together, we can build a sector that is professional, competitive, and globally respected. Today, we are introducing a bold and practical solution, the Graduate Tourism Employment and Mobility Support Program, GTEM program. This program is not theory, it is direct intervention. We are going to train and certify 200 graduates as professional tour guides. Standardize and improve the quality of tour guiding across Ghana. Deploy them into tourism ecosystem, hotels, tours, tour companies, cultural sites, and events. We are going beyond training. We are solving one of the biggest constraints in tourism, which is mobility. Through a structured work and pay model, these young professionals will have access to vehicles to move tourists, operate tours, provide services to hotels and events. No upfront barriers, no waiting, just opportunity linked directly to productivity. This is how we move from unemployment to enterprise. This initiative is not only for graduates, it will extend to small tourism businesses, startups, operators without access to logistics. Because we know the reality. Many good businesses in tourism are not failing because of lack of demand, but because of constraints, or may I put it, lack of support and operational capacity. Through this program, we are opening access, improving efficiency, and strengthening the entire value chain. Let me turn to another key area, sustainability. We are introducing a targeted initiative in partnership with financial institutions to support hotels, restaurants, chop bars, and hospitality operators. And of course, we cannot do this without GATOF. To adopt solar energy, biogas, and other clean energy solutions. Why does this matter? Because when businesses reduce their operational costs, they become more stable, they become more competitive, they can deliver better value. This is not just about going green. This is about building stronger, more efficient, and tourism businesses across Ghana. We are counting on our partners in the financial sector to play a key role in making this accessibility and accessible and scalable. We have spoken to a few of the financial institutions, and I must say that they have agreed to support us. Let me be direct here. If Ghana is serious about becoming a leading tourism destination, then we must be serious about standards and professionalism. We cannot have untrained tour guides, inconsistent service delivery, poor visitor experience. The GTEM program addresses this head-on by certifying professionals, creating accountability, introducing structure into the system. This is how we protect our reputation. This is how we increase visitor satisfaction. And this is how we grow revenue. To the members being sworn in today, this is not going to be just a symbolic event. You are going to work. It's an operational role that you're being given. And your role will be to ensure standards are upheld, support implementation of these initiatives, strengthen coordination across the sector, and forge unity, which is very important. You are at the forefront of the transformation. To our partners, we need you. Financial institutions support financing for mobility and clean energy. Training institutions help us build world-class professionals. Private sector players integrate these graduates and initiatives into your operations. This is a shared investment, and the returns will be shared across the entire economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the direction is clear. The strategy is practical, and the time is now. We are not here to talk about what is possible. We are here to execute what is necessary. Let us build a tourism sector that creates jobs, support businesses, empower young people, and deliver world-class experiences. Together, we are not just growing tourism, we are here to transform tourism. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause as Madam takes her seat, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you to our two previous speakers. The president of GATOF, in uncharacteristically blunt fashion, kept his speech to a minimum, but he was able to encapsulate a few ideas which I'm pleased that the Honorable CEO for the Ghana Tourism Authority was able to catch on to immediately. And in her speech, she encapsulated a lot of these things that are here on the board today that speak about the need for action, the need for coordination, and above all, the need for partnerships. I hope that you're enjoying the session so far. I'm pleased to see quite a few of you taking notes. With that in mind, I want to remind you that there's quite a few more of these strategy sessions. You have more than enough opportunity to write as much as you like. Please make full use of the folders and inserts on the table before you. And so we're now going to move from industry direction to stakeholder perspectives. This is the part of the program where we invite certain eminent personalities to come and make what is known as collaborative statements. Collaborative statements. So this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. This is the strategy session. I am now going to respectfully invite the first speaker to come and give his collaborative statement and his perspective from the stakeholder point of view. Our first speaker is a gentleman who appears to have made a lot of progress with the Ghana Tourism Development Authority. Is the authority or corporation? I have to get this right. Oh, the authority. Ghana Tourism Development Authority has made company. Well, you see, we told you it's a strategy session. We're learning here. it's absolutely important that we get it right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Professor Kobe Mensah.
Wow. A round of applause. I think Gatoff, I'm so thrilled. Can't you feel the vibrancy? Leadership is everything. And let me stand on the protocols. I think Mamefua just mentioned that you can misstep if you do not actually take care of the kind of huge personalities in this room. I'm very grateful, honored to be part of you. And I feel that we have a lot on our shoulders, but also we are responding appropriately. A round of applause. I mean, under perhaps the leadership, and I'm right to say that obviously amongst the agencies, GTA is our leader of the baton takers under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts, headed by Mamaga Abla Jifagomashi. The agencies have responded appropriately to the tasks ahead. And I'm so proud that we have a very strong private sector absolutely anchoring what the agencies are doing. And since I've been in the office, I've attended so many vibrant events, from obviously the Ghana hotels, Tuga, and now the parent private sector, Gatoff. I feel so proud to be part of this. For GTDC, we have said that our mandate is clear. Help the government to develop tourism. Help the government to develop tourism. And so our strategy is to ensure that we have a very clear, innovative path for tourism development, trend setting, new products and services, so that the private sector can also know the path to growth, to profitability, to sustainability, etc. And so we come on board with that mindset of innovation. Innovation that would lead to tourism development, cultural development, creative arts development, and so many other areas. And so we pledge our absolute support to Gatoff, to the rest of the agencies led by the GTA, and we'll make sure that we will never waver, but ensure the increasing support. Thank you so much for that.
Professor Kobe Mensah, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Kobe Mensah. From one eminent personality to another. We are here at the Accra City Hotel discussing a number of very important themes under the heading Stronger Together for Tourism, Hospitality and Growth. Our next presenter, our next collaborative statement is going to come from another hardworking individual in the tourism and labor space. My information is that he is the Occupational Health and Safety Committee chairperson under the Ministry of Labor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's very important when we are giving out some of these titles for people to be very clear as to who we've brought in here. Madam Efua, Mr. Seth, and Professor Kobe have made mention of a number of agencies and personalities who are here with us today. And it's very important that we lock on to who they are and what they're doing. They're all working very hard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stand Dr. Daniel Ayikwe, please. Dr. Daniel Ayikwe. Dr. Daniel Ayikwe. And traditionally, you keep the applause until he reaches the podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished guests, Nime, Kename, Mimbra Yomani. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the existing protocol. I don't know where the woman stand. Is he here or here? You stood here so that I will not balance the scale. Anyway, good morning to you all. It is an honor to stand before you today at the defining moment that sets the tone for leadership, directions, and accountability within Ghana tourism sector. Sorry, I'm not a public speaker. I'm a purely security person, so forgive me. Let me begin with a simple, powerful truth that any country can have beautiful destinations, but not every country that can deliver a world-class tourism experience, which you bear with me. The difference is not the location to me, but the difference is the workplace. We can build a world-class hotel, promote beautiful destinations, and launch compelling campaigns. But if the people are not trained, structured, and professional, we will always fall short of international experience. If you bear with me. So I have here 5 items that I want us to treat, which I have named them D1 to 5. So the D1 says that workplace development. And to me, that's the foundation. So a competitive tourism industry is not built on chance, but it is built on structure, policy, backed by SOPs. So, Mr. President, take a note. We must move away from the formal learn-on-the-job approaches to embrace deliberate system that developed competence and discipline. That is what we want. Most of the times when you go, you recruit people, you give them to the old staff, and then you ask them, oh, train him on the job. We should have a system in place. When you come, you'll be trained to the position given to you. In the end, the tourists do not remember the bushel given to them. They remember the experience. That is what some of us has witnessed. D2, skills, certifications, and professional standard. Every guide, hotel staff, driver, and private security officers within the tourism ecosystem must be trained and meet the defined standard that we're coming out with. Certification is not just a formality. It is a credibility, it is trust, it is assuring quality. So D3, government direction. Let me be very careful here. I know we have some bosses here. If you mistake, you can cough you right now. So please. So government direction, jobs. But I'm not looking at the numbers. We're talking about job creation, looking at the numbers, but I'm looking at the numbers. But there should be a policy that must move beyond counting tourism arrival. The last time my boss, president, was saying, if you go to this country, number of people have come. If you go here, counting. But the question now is, what have we done here for people to continue to come? So the real question is, how many sustainable jobs are we creating to tourism? That's question one. So I think this question, when we finish, we can deliberate on that. So let me move to item 4, because my time is limited. So collaboration. And this is very, very crucial. This is very important. I call it a game changer. So no single institution can transform its sector alone. You need to collaborate. If you don't collaborate, you stand where you are. My boss, General Michaud, always says, if you continue to do the same thing at the same time, on, and you don't change, you go nowhere. So I think we have to change from where we were to the next stage. And so no single institution can survive. We need to collaborate. This is where Ghana Tourism Federation plays a critical role by collaborating with other stakeholders to meet the standard that we've been waiting for. So I personally see GATOF to be one of the key players in the research agenda. Again, let me be very careful here. Yes. We have 24-hour economy, which is all over the country. If you pass here 24-hour. But I think you guys have been in the system and started the 24-hour long ago. Because we're already providing services 24-hour, by taking all the risk. For me, I think it's now that the government is come to back you up with security and so you've taken all the risk up to date. You deserve a round of applause for yourselves. So let us assure one thing, the solution that works in practice and not just a paper. So what we're doing, we should put in practice, not just paper and it's there for others to come and read as Bible. So we need to put everything, as my boss said, let's activate ourselves. Let's move. We'll talk and we don't react. We'll talk and we don't act. And so let's move. That's what I can say. GATOS must go beyond representation. It helps, in fact, GATOF must go beyond representation. It must help set standard, drive compliance, and influence policy. I think that is one big thing that you have to carry on your chest. Policy, that backed by SOPs. If you don't have policies in place, people will come and do their own thing and go. You never change. So item 5, which is D5, tourism is a driver of inclusive growth, which I believe you all know. Tourism remains one of the most powerful tools for inclusive growth that has created opportunity for the youth. If you go to even this hotel, if you look at the number of people, and they pay. Some pay up to 10,000 cities, 15,000. So it's a sector that must be looked at, pay critical attention to it and grow it. Government needs to invest in this. It has also created jobs for men and women, rural community development, small and medium-sized companies, revenue generation, and more. We can't name them. They are big. But I think we see them on a map like this. So this time, I believe with this, we'll see you bigger and bigger. The potential can only be realized through structure and intentional planning. If we don't plan intentionally, and we just look at what is there and we act on it, we will forever remain where we are. So I believe this committee will come out with a lot of good policies, planning, and then some of us will also put in action. If we get it right, tourism would not just bring visitors into the country. It will create a livelihood across the nation by involving traditional and religious leaders. Sometimes I feel that traditional leaders are being left behind, because some of the things that need to involve them, they need to seek for their advice. They know more than some of us. They know more than you can imagine. They can give you all sort of advice that you need. But most of the time, they are left behind. So I think we have to revisit this and involve them. And I believe that President said, with all these committees, we should see some of the traditional rulers playing a role in it. So that will help you. So let me end up by saying that as this strategic committee has sworn in today, this is the charge. It's not plenty. I'm giving you just a small charge. Let us move from activity to structure, from effort to professionalism. We keep saying that we are making efforts, we are trying our best, but let's attach professionalism and we'll get the whole thing set. But the truth is, if that we fix the workplace safe, generation upon generation upon generation will come and they will enjoy the hard work that you have done in the past. We will not sit down here if some of our leaders didn't project or plan ahead for us to come and enjoy it. So I'll end up by saying that.
Recording stopped.
Don't record me, I beg you. We have responsibilities, we have a lot of work to do, and we must come together to create a livelihood and a beautiful Ghana for others wanting to come more than they have. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I'm not a good speaker. So.
Dr. Daniel Ayikwe. Dr. Daniel Ayikwe. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you might be interested to know that we're making very good time here. We started even earlier than we were meant to start off, and we tried to actually stretch the program out to take account of any late entries or long speeches or anything of that nature. Thankfully, everything has been going according to plan, Mr. President of the GATOF, you'll be pleased to know. And so with that, I think I can just offer in a little bit of background to the previous speaker. Again, we're having these recurring themes of partnership, of action. But Dr. Ayikwe was very clear that in this raising of standards, the training must focus on competencies. Training must focus on competencies for good quality assurance. That is something that I actually took away with me, and I'm glad that other people are also taking note and writing notes furiously. Dr. Daniel spoke about collaboration, and there's already been mentioned about partnerships, and we know the work that GATOF is doing to try and bring all the private operators under a single banner and work together. And so when we talk about a strategy session, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what we mean. We are learning, we are sharing, and hopefully we'll be earning. Our next speaker is the representative of Hot Cats, I believe, who has also something very important to tell us in respect of what we've discussed here. Would you please welcome Dr. Derek Afonope. Dr. Eric. Dr. Eric, please. Ah, there you are. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, resplendent in his blue and white striped tie and matching jacket, Dr. Eric Afonope, Hot Cats. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My daughter asked me, why do you always wear hat? And I said, it's for head. I'm the head of Hotel Catering and Tourism Training Institute. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I should also acknowledge the existing protocol, but let me mention few. The Honorable Minister for the sector, Honorable Abla Jifar Gomashi, MP for Ketu South, represented by the Director for Tourism, Dr. Director Tamweklo. Then also I always want to also bring in the Deputy Minister, Honorable Yusuf Jaja, who has also been supportive. Sometimes when work is loaded, the minister, then we say, Honorable Deputy, you also have to help. So I have that special thanks to his support. And then to the agency heads, there are many, we are 13, and Hotcat is one of them, but more importantly, Madame Efwa Huajeto, with whom we would have a lot of collaboration with. Then the chairman of Special Task Force, who have just spoken, colleagues from the Hotcat, the industry partners so heavily loaded and participating here, distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. It is a privilege to be part of this event. It is a crucial event marking a transition from ideas to action. I still emphasize that from ideas to action, and this time around, action manifesting within the cross space of Ghana tourism, hospitality, and culinary industry, and more particularly having it more inclusive and collaborative as a process to plan and implement among various programs that are outlined, but the one that even concerned to us most is National Training and Certification Program. And the very particular moment where we are doing this collaboration with the GTA, the GATOF. And I mention GATOF always to my officers, and anytime I also go to the ministry, indicating that this time the action of GATOF has been speedy, and I thank the president. I mean, when he was going to be inaugurated, I met him and outlined our vision to him and that the collaboration that we need to have. And we even had a similar engagement of this nature at the ministry last year to talk about professionalism in the industry. We have it dotted across various trade areas, but something that is harmonized at a national level, which is powered by all key stakeholders that are here, is very important. Also, let me indicate that the program under consideration is timely and appropriate owing to the growing industry attraction and hospitality becoming a booming thing in Ghana. Having the president himself promoting this at various levels, attracting visitors to Ghana, and it's always increasing. Employment generation coming with it, and revenue also coming with it. It's a booming sector, I was told that I'm yet to know that from data, but it's contributing to fourth to third to Ghana's GDP. And within the 24-hour economy, its prioritization in the Show 24 program, Show 24, you know, the 24-hour economy, there's 8 programs, and the tourism sector captured under the Show program is something that has been invisible, and I just want to mention it. So despite these growing successes that we are having cumulatively over the years, the industry has faced issues of poor services delivery in some facilities. Indeed, not all areas or facilities that have been having this challenge, but some of them. But we can also assume that all are doing well, and that's where there's a need to develop that a national standard to train, to test, to examine. And I think this is in various countries. You visit country A or B, beyond Ghana, you see people presenting even certificates that they have obtained professionally from the industry and has been embraced as part of the assessment. When you have to give license, you have to regulate. And so we think that this program certification and professionalism competency would have to be developed within our space. And if also to reiterate what the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, indicated that there are pockets of poor services, and what do? We need to enhance training. And you recall that in the launch of the December GH, I think it was launched in November, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra, indicated that the poor services that have been outlined, the antidote is continuous and professional training, and tasking the HOTCAT and the GTA and other agencies and partners to deepen training. And that is where I got my power to collaborate with the various stakeholders. And of course, the GTA, the GTDC, the HOTCAT will do a lot of collaboration in this regard. Tourism is not just about destinations, it is about people, service, and experience. And the quality of experience depends directly on the skills, professionalism, and attitudes of our tourism workforce. In terms of issues of standardized training and certification, still acknowledging the growing industry, we believe that there's a need to come together. And that reiterated the theme, stronger together for our sector. So without a unified national framework, like the one that we are developing, and which will come with training, testing, and certification, skills development becomes fragmented. This leads to inconsistent service quality, limited career progression of workers, difficulties in benchmarking our service against international standards. Standardized training and certification ensure that whether a visitor is served in Aflao, at the border east, Accra, Cape Coast, Kumasi, Tamale, among others, they receive the same professional, safe, and high quality service. It is also to protect the integrity of the industry by recognizing competency, encouraging continuous learning, and formalizing tourism respected career path. Let me add that this framework is successful, will be successful, of course, when we collaborate. This is why the collaboration between the HOTCAT and the Ghana Tourism Federation, GATOF, is both timely and strategic. HOTCAT has been a government-owned premier hospitality, tourism, culinary training institute mandated to train professionals in the industry and has trained over thousands of professionals in the industry. Sometimes you are there and they approach you. I've gone through HotCat. The indication I also have is that even the chief of staff, the chief of staff might have gone through this process before. And during 90s, we were told that HotCat was the one supplying a professional to the various government hotels and restaurants. At the time, Ghana Airways was functioning. So it's a great institution that can do more, but with support and collaboration. The HotCat serves as hospitality, catering, tourism training, grounded in curriculum development, assessment, certification. It trains on short courses for 6 months, inclusive of TVET, mobile training, which even the president again indicated to us that we cannot be training only in Accra, but we have to train in other parts of the region. And for that reason, we are on a program to develop training hubs across the country, if not regional level, then district level as well. And this forms part of our 5-year strategic plan from 2025 to 2029. GATOF, on the other hand, and this is very crucial to me, represent the voice of the industry, practitioners across the trade industries of culinary, hospitality, and tourism, ensuring that training reflects real-world needs and emerging trends and operational realities. Through this partnership, we are bridging, of course, the gap between institutions and industry practice, international standards, and national tourism policy objective. The collaborative approach ensures that training is not theoretical alone, but practical, relevant, and demand-driven, equipping workers with that competency, improve productivity, professionalism, and service excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, let me emphasize or re-emphasize that tourism is competitive globally. Today's travelers compare destination not only by attraction, but by service quality, experience, consistency, and professionalism. A well-designated national training and certification program raises Ghana's profile as a destination that takes service quality seriously. It enhances customer service. It enhances customer service satisfaction, encourages repeat visits, strengthens our brand, and positions Ghana competitively within the West African region and globally. Also, we are talking about labor export. Ghanaians don't only work in Ghana, but they even work abroad. More importantly, certification program and workforce, it will boost confidence, mobility, career, and others. When we invest in training, we do not only improve tourism, we build national capacity, create decent jobs, drive inclusive growth across the country. In conclusion, the National Training and Certification Program is more than an initiative. It is a commitment to excellence. The partnership between the Ghana HotCat and GATOF and the GTA represent a shared vision. And also to mention GTDC that would also be promoting our marketing for this program. Eventually to build skilled, professional, and globally competitive tourism workforce for Ghana. It is a model of collaboration that aligns policy, training, and industry needs. We encourage all stakeholders, government agencies, private sector operators, training institutions, development partners to support and sustain these initiatives. By doing so, we are not only preparing our people for jobs, we are preparing Ghana for future, for growth, revenue generation, employment, and others. Together, let's raise the standards very high, strengthen capacity, position Ghana as a destination renowned not just for its attraction, but for a world-class service. Let us embrace the framework and support it as stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eric. That was an appropriately densely concentrated speech that covered all the angles. He mentioned collaboration, he mentioned competencies, he mentioned continuous learning, he mentioned investors in people, he mentioned translating ideas into action, and probably most of all, he mentioned the collaboration between GATOF and HotCat, which he was very kind to mention here. So thank you for that, Dr. Eric. Dr. Eric Afonope, one more time, please. Thank you. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we usher in our latest arrival, who will be appropriately introduced in the formal and right way, I wish to draw your attention to the fact that we are now going to have a series of presentations by people involved in different collaborative aspects of this tourist industry who are going to come and share something that are very important for us. But in a slight change to the advertised program, we are going to have a small feature here by another collaborative agent. Mr. Ashikote represents Urban Plug, but because of his extensive reach and network, he's also able to comment also on other agencies like UMB and EcoBank, who are key partners in this endeavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome, at short notice but very promptly, Mr. Ashikote. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Still morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashikote. I represent Urban Plug Energy, a renewable energy company, also representing EcoBank and UMB on this forum today. So what do? We're a renewable energy company, and we've been working with the GTA on how we can bring renewable energy to the tourism sector. We've done a lot of work, and there's been a lot of progress. So what we have designed is how we can make you renewable, how we can make you modern, and how we can make tourism productive in this era. Considering the mantra of our new government, the running government of the country, and the green transition mantra, we have designed a system where we want to bring renewable energy to all tourism sectors, all the players in tourism, and making it easy, cheaper for you to get cheaper bills, renewable bills, and make your energy more efficient. So we've designed a system where we are giving offers to the bank, to you guys, using some of our financial partners like UMB and EcoBank, where we're giving very, very interesting rates to be able to bring you guys onto solar energy, reducing your bills by a large segment. It's a beautiful, wonderful system where if you guys sign up to it, we handle all the work for you, we do all the consultative work and everything, and you just come on and we're able to give you energy at maybe half your current running cost, which is going to make your bills less over time. And our banks are so good that some of them are even offering as low as 10% and 12% for a period of 7 years. So it's something we're working on to make tourism sector better. But not only are we doing that also, the new mantra we have now is electric vehicles. Luckily, our company also has an electrical vehicle arm called Drive EV Ghana, where we are also looking at installing charge stations at all your hotels. Over the weekend, we visited a few hotels in the eastern region and in the Volta, and from inquiries we made from them, they have customers who want to visit them and have electric vehicles. But because they do not have the infrastructure to charge their cars, the people are not able to make the trip, or they abandon it altogether. So another program we're also looking at is installing charge stations across every hotel, across every tourism sector or every tourism place in the country where we'll have charging stations. And the beauty of this is that we're doing it at no cost to the tourism sector or to you, the stakeholders in the system. And what we're actually looking to do is to create revenue for people in this sector. So we'll be installing chargers across hotels and tourism event centers at no cost to you, and then giving you some money alongside as people use it. All this is all powered by the GTA and the wonderful work that we've been doing with them. So we are also looking at doing some stuff in mobility, creating a transport system that will also encourage renewable by bringing cars onto the system that are electric cars and are going to be partnered with the GTA to increase tourism. So very soon, in the next couple of months, you'll be hearing a lot from us, and you'll be seeing a lot of us coming to you for various engagements on what we can do for you and how we'll do it for you. So we're actually promising you a brighter future of renewable energy, cheaper energy, and more energy sustainable customers. So thank you very much for your attention, and you'll be hearing from us soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashikote. So, thank you. Yes, do appreciate him. Thank you. This is an encouraging development. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All operators in here, when you're talking about renewable and sustainable energy, and understanding banks with very appropriate interest rates, there's nothing more else that we want here. So, ladies and gentlemen, do take the opportunity to buttonhole Mr. Kote after the session ends, and he can give you some more information. Just before Mr. Kote took the stand, we received another arrival for this event, and I think that it's appropriate that I make reference to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are very, very, very grateful, very proud to have the Greater Accra representative for the Council of State, the Greater Accra representative for the Council of State, who is not only gracing us with his presence, but he's also going to give the pre-swearing-in address. So all of you who have been sworn into committees know that the address is probably the most frightening part of it, the pre-swearing-in address. And so we do have someone here who is going to ease our participants in. At this time, I want to introduce formally His Royal Majesty Nene Drolo Bosu Adamiti the First. I'll say that again for effect. His Royal Majesty Nene Drolo Bosu Adamiti the First. I think it's appropriate that you give him a resounding round of applause. Your Majesty, thank you for taking the time to come and meet with us here today. I do have a statement that identifies your exploits and your achievements in public life and in public service. With your permission, I'd like to take special time either to read that now or I shall read it in before your pre-swearing address. It's entirely up to Gatoff and to the President. I think we will take it and we'll do it now. And so, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me as I put on my reading glasses and I can see much better. If you want to know, our special guest also wears glasses, so I'm in good company. Right. Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Your attention. His Excellency, His Royal Majesty Drolo Bosu Adamiti, Greater Accra representative of the Council of State. His Excellency, His Royal Majesty Drolo Bosu Adamiti the First is a member of the Council of State in Ghana and a distinguished leader whose career uniquely unites traditional kingship with international diplomacy, academia, and business. As a traditional ruler, he resolves chieftaincy disputes, land conflicts, and community tensions through mediation and consensus building, earning deep respect as a peace builder across Africa. Simultaneously, he has served as special advisor to the UN Assistant Secretary General and director of the UNDP for Africa, shaping continental development policies and mobilizing resources for global initiatives. An accomplished scholar holding 3 doctorates, His Royal Majesty has made historic contributions to higher education as the first Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies in Accra from 2014 to 2019. He is now the current Chancellor of Caribbean Maritime University, Jamaica, and Council Chairman of both Accra Metropolitan University and Truth Bible University and Seminary in the United States of America. Beyond academia, he is a global business executive who has founded and advised enterprises across finance, energy, mining, agriculture, media, trade, and of course, tourism. He founded the Global Leadership Center, Drola Center for Strategic Leadership, and Drola Educational Foundation to advance leadership excellence and educational access across Africa, the Caribbean, Europe, and North America. As a best-selling author and keynote speaker, he has lectured in over 125 countries on governance, sustainable development, and youth empowerment. His life's work reflects an unwavering commitment to peace, cultural preservation, ethic leadership, social justice, and inclusive economic growth, which uniquely positions him for public service and the advancement of this country, the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, a slight potted history of our excellent and distinguished guest, His Royal Majesty Drola Bosu Adamiti. Thank you. Just had enough protocol to stand on, and I was able to read that. So thank you once again. Your appreciation, please, one more time for an excellent guest. Thank you. And I think at this stage, I think it's also proper, whilst the momentum is there, to cover a few other names that are here, have not been mentioned. Would you, I crave your indulgence, please. We've already met or been introduced to Dr. Daniel Ayukwe, who's the chairman of the Special Task Force, Ministry of Labor, Jobs and Employment. Mr. Isaac Ukpoti Ajay, Managing Director, Movenpick, Ambassador Hotel, Accra. If you're here, we're pleased to have you here. Thank you for coming. Mrs. Stella Penting, former president, the Ghana Tourism Federation. Oketechie Nana Enim, former president, Ghana Tourism Federation. Mr. Charles Edujemfi, former president, Ghana Tourism Federation. Dr. Edward Aka Nyamike Jr., who's the president of the Ghana Hotels Association and who so eloquently prayed for us at the start of the program. Engineer Daniel Digbe, Principal Program Officer, Environmental Protection Authority, Ghana National Cleaner Production Center. Nana Bauridu, former board chairman, Ghana Tourism Authority. Mr. Bright Shine Sejafa, Chief Executive Officer, Intelligence Security Solutions. Mr. John Hooper, Chief Executive Officer, Exceed Branding, Sambra Media Group. Dr. Boahima Intim, Chief Executive Officer, African Tea Company. Dr. Cheryl Williamson, CEO, founder of the Williamson Media Group, LLC, United States of America. President Seth spoke about our partners who are currently watching us live stream. So ladies and gentlemen, do sit up and sit up and make sure that we are presentable. Thank you. But yes, much thanks to Dr. Williamson for organizing this live stream. Dr. Kwesi Ayesin, former Vice President, Ghana Tourism Federation. Mr. Patrick Boating, a champion, Chief Executive Officer, Rising Sun Montessori. Mr. Jeremiah K.T. Jangma, partner, AW Capital. Mr. Ahmed Naman, Chief Executive Officer, Dodi Travel and Tours. Mrs. Alisa Asamoah, former president, Tour Operators Union of Ghana. Mr. Akwesi Mafu, former vice president, Car Rentals Association of Ghana. And finally, Dr. Grace Opunidaku, who is the executive director, Grace Compassion Global Online. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, more to follow. Give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now the final strategic session, which it comes under the theme, Lifting Women in Tourism. This is a particular program which I know is key is central to GATOF's operations going forward. President Seth spoke about how many of these women, supposedly uneducated or half-educated, semi-literate, they're the ones that feed us. And he spoke about the means by which we can uplift them in tourism so that they can continue to feed us, not only us, but the visitors to this country also. And so with that in mind, we're going to have a series of presentations here. There are so many similar looking people that I wasn't quite sure that I've got everybody who's supposed to be here. So we are going to ask for our first presenter to come and do their slot here. And theirs is going to be on chop bar design. Now, anybody who is a friend of Ghana knows about chop bars, and I tell you, this particular feature will absolutely blow your mind. May I know, please, if Rose-Ann Michio, who's the lead architect for Tourism FinTech, if she is in the bill, is she in the house right now? Is that you, honey? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rose-Ann Michio, lead architect. Lead architect, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I would not... Okay. So, to not make any mistakes, I would only say good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and all protocols observed. Okay, so I am happy to be here today to present to you the concept of the Modern Chop Bar Initiative under the Uplifting Women in Ghana Tourism. To begin with, I'm an architect. I'm also an interior designer and a creative entrepreneur. I have studied BSc Architecture in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I moved on to do my master's in Politecnico di Milano in Italy. I have also done my PhD in the same university in architecture, urban and interior design, and my interior design in the UK. I work together with a lovely team, which is cross-based both in Ghana, in Brazil, and in Italy. And over the past 15 years, I've been privileged to work in Rotterdam, in India, and in Ghana as well. Today, I would like to present to you the proposal that I have put together. We will quickly go through the concept. So we can skip. Okay, so the concept for the chop bars is African modernity, or what we have decided to term African modernity. Basically, what we are trying to do is to merge the concept of modern architecture with our local materials. So the concept anchors on using earth-borne materials. When we say earth-borne materials, we're talking about bamboo, we're talking about wood, we're talking about laterite or mud, and also reclaiming our containers, which we already use in today's Ghana construction. The idea is to create a visual story of Ghana's growth from traditional roots to an innovative future. So this is a design language that we are seeking to balance Africanism, sustainability, and functional food safety. I also say that before we went ahead into design, we took the liberty of contacting Food and Drugs Authority to understand the codes and standards. Of course, there are, even though most people do not know. So we took into consideration the distances that it should be away from gutters, and so on and so forth. So today, I will present to you 5 prototypes that we managed to come up with. Okay, so the 5 main prototypes of the chop bars that we are going to present to you today are structured in 2 main categories. We have the temporary structures, which are made of wood, bamboo, and then we have the semi-permanent or the permanent structures. So the semi-permanent or the permanent structures are those that are made of the container or with earth or laterite. So let's start with the temporary structures. For temporary structures, we have the type A, type B, and type C. So for type A, this is the tabletop restaurant, structure. This is targeted at street food vendors, for our roasted plantain vendors, roasted corn, all these kinds of tabletop vendors that we see around. The concept is to use a refined modular version of the traditional road stall. So the design is taking into consideration a conical thatch or bamboo shingle umbrella that is supported by a single tripod timber in the middle, and then to have a concrete slab at the top, which is easier to clean. Now, one of the comments that we had from Gatov when we showed this design was, okay, what if the fire starts sparkling, and what if the thatch catches fire? So I would say that there is a way of lining the interior with fire-rated lining, and then to put a non-combustible color slate. I wouldn't bore you with the details, but I would say that this is safe, it looks very African, and it could, encourage more people to patronize, especially those who are a little bit iffy about patronizing from street vendors in the previous state. The second type is the eco kiosk. The eco kiosk is targeted at local fried rice and pre-prepared meal vendors. So these are people that usually prepare the meals at home and then bring it into the kiosk, and then, check, they just dish it out. The concept is a high ventilation or a breathable wooden box. Technically, what we have is this typical structure that we see that is usually made of glass and very, very warm. What we are actually proposing is what we are calling the eco kiosk. The eco kiosk is a louvered bamboo wall that allows maximum cross ventilation. As we already know, Ghana is very hot and humid. And so this kind of kiosk with the, with the fan keeps it cool. And then we have the solar panels also at the top, which keeps it more sustainable, more green. So the tech integration with this particular type integrates built-in insulated bays for food warmers, as we can see at the bottom, and then also the fridge for them to keep food in a more hygienic way. Okay, we can move on. Type C is the transport. So this is typically the containers that we have. Now, the containers are usually like incubators for heat because it's all made of metal. In this proposal, what we have done is to clad it with laterite. So laterite also acts as, let's say, a thermal insulator. It absorbs the heat and prevents the heat from going directly through the metal into the space and helps to keep it cool. So we have proposed two types of this model. This is typically with a 20-feet container with one side pop-up so that you can have, again, air coming through. Or we could stack this, which we'll see later. The materiality of this, again, is taking advantage of the rammed earth to blend in with the landscape and then also to help with thermal insulation. So then we move on to the permanent or semi-permanent structures, which are the types D and E. So types D and E, we introduced the experiential zones to engage clients or tourists. These include areas like the fufu pounding pit, which includes people taking part of the experience, pounding your own fufu before you eat it. And before you say anything, it's already existing and people are having a lot of fun doing it. I would also say that initially it was meant for tourists, but I've recently seen that there has been a new chop bar in cantonments that's been opened and also allows even Ghanaians take part in the process, and we are both enjoying it, both as people from the diaspora and local people that live here. So we also introduced the Asanka Terrace, which is a place where people can grind their akekejo, their ginger together with the liver, putting it on their food. And then we also introduced the fireless hearth, so for sustainable cooking. So in types D and E, what we are doing is not just selling a plate of banku. What we are selling is the story of how it was made. We are inviting the tourists, or we're inviting people to take part of the food creation process, and then to create a deep emotional connection to our heritage that ensures that they return and they share in the experience of our world, which can only be found here. These are things that we cannot do abroad. These are things we cannot do in Europe. You cannot go and pound fufu in your apartment. You cannot pound it outside. But here in Ghana, we do, and we want to make it an experience where people can be a part of. This is another kind of the container type that we hope to introduce in later phases. In places like Rotterdam, we have something called the Market Hall, where you would find different kinds of foods being displayed. We are taking the idea of the containers and seeing how we could stack it up and have different kinds of food vendors in the same place. So the final part is type E, which we call the Heritage Hub. The Heritage Hub is envisioned to seat about 100 people. The target for this is like a landmark culinary tourism destination. It is like a flagship chop bar cathedral. So the design of this is to take a large span structure using engineered timber or bamboo trusses. The walls are made of rammed earth or pigmented concrete, and this also works as a thermal mass to keep the interiors cool. The layout is an open place where people can be seated, and then where the fufu pounding takes place is barricaded with some glass to help with hygiene. This model also takes into consideration the biogas. It includes biogas, it includes solar panels, so that it is as sustainable as possible. You can move on. So we also envision having, some outdoor spaces like these where people can also sit in the open and enjoy. This is also another way we could possibly, expand the Heritage Hub. We also have the idea of introducing aprons that also look very Ghanaian. Here, this is a prototype where Kuku is wearing his lovely Kente-inspired apron. I also must say that I also own a brand called Dish & Co. And with Dish & Co, what we do now is part of our plates are from China. But what we realized was that the difference between plates or ceramic plates that you will buy from abroad that everybody's willing to buy and what we have in Ghana here is attention to detail. This is also another collection of Dish & Co, which we also envision introducing into this concept. These are locally made here, made in Ghana, made with our laterite, with our mud and terracotta. And we hope that with this initiative, we are also able to create more jobs for women, more jobs for people that are interested in pottery, so that at the end of the day, this becomes a cyclical thing. We are not only looking at creating jobs for our local people, people that sell the thatch, people that are selling wood, people that are selling bamboo, our local artisans. We're also looking at creating jobs for people who want to be involved in the creative process in making fine details that will be included in the design, even as little as our plates. So in all, we have gone through 5 prototypes. We've gone through type A, which was the bamboo or the thatch. We've gone through type B, which was more like the eco kiosk. We've gone through type C, which is the reclaimed container. We've looked at type D, where we were stacking them. And then we looked at type E, which was the 100-seater capacity of it. We've gone through our prototype timelines, how much time it will probably take us to construct. And I do hope that with this concept or these 5 prototypes, we are able to truly create spaces where women can work in a very, very comfortable environment that is not so hot where they're sweating into the food, that they're happy to actually present themselves and also create jobs for other women to work. Thank you very much.
Architect Mishu, some of the innovations that you've demonstrated here have blown some of us out of our minds. We have no more protocol to stand on. Ladies and gentlemen, Architect Mishu. Architect Mishu, thank you very much indeed. Excellent. Thank you very much. Please take the opportunity to approach Architect Mishu after the event so that you can get some more information from about these absolutely fantastic innovations. I'm really very impressed. And this is just a measure of what GATOF is trying to do going forward. Now, our next presenter is the CEO of the Optimity Group, Mario N.R. Sparks. Mario N.R. Sparks, are you here, sir? He's online. Okay, so he's going to, okay. What we're going to do is that we're going to set it up, and then when we're ready for him, we'll bring it on. So in respect of that, I'd like to invite an excellent young man here. He's probably the quietest person in the room so far. He hasn't said a word since he arrived. He's one of the first people to arrive. He hasn't said anything. So we're going to give him the opportunity to come and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Daniel Digbe of the Environmental Protection Agency, here to come and give us a talk on biogas and say some sustainability. Keep clapping until he gets to the podium, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. And standing on existing protocols, I would want to continue with the presentation. So this afternoon, I'm going to talk about resource efficiency. With EPA, before you start operating your hotel, you are given a permit to operate your hotel. And the permit comes with conditions. One of the major conditions you are required to meet is that you need to be resource efficient, so you report on the resources you use. You look at the energy you use, the water you use, whatever materials you use, and then also your waste management. And I believe that it cuts across, various sectors. And so talking about resource efficiency, you are looking at integrating, it's an integrated approach to managing your water, managing your energy consumption, environmental and financial resources, eliminating or minimizing your waste. And so basically, you see the diagram there. So you're looking at environmental protection, looking at your production efficiency, and also social enhancement. Can we move on to the next slide? So when we talk about cleaner production, it's an integrated preventive approach to addressing some of the challenges that the hotels face. And so it's continuous, integrated, preventive. We look at your processes, we look at your products, and then the services you provide. What are the risks involved? And then how best do you address some of this risk? So we do energy audit. We do waste to energy assessment, biogas, biomass, basically renewable energy, and then also your water usage, and then industrial symbiosis assessment. And so when we talk about industrial symbiosis assessment, we did some work with UNEP where you link waste that is generated. It becomes a raw material to another company that makes use of the waste that you have generated. So it doesn't end up in the landfill. Currently, as we speak, we are running out. We don't have a landfill. And we are pushing that all the sectors should, make use of the waste that is generated. And so you transfer the waste to someone else that makes use of the waste. Yeah, we can move on. So why do we need RECP in our various facilities? You reduce consumption of your resources and you save some money. Reduce pollution and also save the environment. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, so there are several benefits that comes with it. And so, like I've mentioned, you make savings, which becomes beneficial to the company. And you reduce pollution prevention, and all that. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, so when we do resource efficiency and cleaner production, we look at technology, we look at your employees. Sometimes it may be an issue with your employees, they are not doing something right. And sometimes it's also raw materials, your processes, the emissions, partners or stakeholders, and then your products. So what are some of the barriers? Yeah, there are barriers: lack of information expertise, low environmental awareness, competing business priorities, financial obstacles, lack of communication in firms, labor force obstacles, management inertia. Sometimes when you want to make change, it becomes difficult. So then difficulty in accessing cleaner technology, external funding, or access to funding, basically. We can move on to the next slide. So what are the elements? We need management commitment. We do an operational assessment. We then make recommendations for implementation. We also take measurements. Your energy consumption measurements, your water consumption, what's the volume of waste you are generating, what is your waste characteristics. And then we document them. And so when it comes to RECP, it's good for the hotels. I mean, for all the tourism organizations. It's also for every business. If you want to make savings, look, you need RECP. It's a way to go. Yeah, and also that's what I can say for now. But I also want to talk about eco certification, eco labeling in Ghana. EPA has now, working with the Ministry of Tourism, we've come up with an eco certification or eco labeling, which I want to present to you. Currently, there are various sites that has been, we call the biosphere reserves, and we can move on to them. In Ghana, we have a few of them. There are about 16 sites that have been outlined. Lake Bosontri is one, the Songo Lagoon, and then the Bia as well. So these are sites where we man and biosphere, we came up with these certifications so that people can visit there. There are various factors we consider for eco, when we want to grant you a certificate on our eco labeling. So we've done this in collaboration with the World Tourism Institute, and there are set standards and guidelines that helps to distinguish ecotourism and sustainable tourism. And so we follow that guidelines, and we give that approval. So example, for instance, is we have an ACOBEN environmental performance rating. This one is for industries. But this eco label we are talking about is for tourist sites. Yeah, we can move on. Yeah. So this is the label. There is a committee that does the assessment. When we go and do the assessment, there is a committee that looks at all the documentation and everything. And so we look at, please come back. So you have various components of the biosphere. You have the natural and then the built environment. We have marine and terrestrial biodiversity, which we consider before it is given to you. So you will get a certificate with this label from the EPA. Yeah, we can move on. So what's the process? You apply, submit an application. There's an application form. There is an appraisal. You go through that process, and then it is approved. So that is that for the eco label. Now, I'm going to talk about biogas as well. What is the basics and the applications. I heard Madam talk about it. We have worked with the Ghana Standards Authority to develop standards for constructing and operating a biogas plant. We also have, through working with Energy Commission, we've set up the Ghana Biogas Association. And so we collaborate with them all the time. And when we talk about biogas, it's made up of methane. It's formed through anaerobic digestion. The main thing you need to consider is that for you to get gas, it must be airtight. Whatever container you put your waste in must be airtight so that we can get the gas. Can move on to the next slide. So what are the sources? Basically, in biogas formation, there is okay, so let me talk about the sources first. So you have agricultural residue, animal waste, forest and industrial woody waste, food and kitchen or organic waste, municipal waste, wastewater, sludge, and then any effluent that is high in COD or BOD will help you to generate biogas. So the key question is, what are you going to use the gas for if you start producing gas? So you can store it. You have a genset which can use it to generate electricity. You can use it in the kitchen for cooking. You can move on to the next slide. Yeah, you have biofertilizer. If you want to basically use it for, just basically for sanitation, it's also possible. And so you're looking at treating municipal waste, agro-processing waste, sewage from homes. And I know most of the hotels, one of their major challenges is the disposal of food waste. And so there is always use for it. These are some of the applications we have in Ghana. This is a 2,000 cubic biogas plant in Ashaman. It's generating electricity and it's being sold. It's been sold to ECG. We have this in Ghana. Can we move on to? There is also the Guinness Ghana. Guinness Ghana has also constructed a biogas plant, which is about 300 cubic biogas per day from their waste. Yeah. Can move on to the next slide. Yeah. So this is the plant. Let's move on. Yeah. This is also fresh, HPW, fresh and dry. It's in the previous picture. This is also Aglo Farms. There is a 450 cubic biogas plant. We can move on to the next plant. Yeah. So this is built in a Wa hospital, making use of their waste, basically for sanitation purposes. Yeah, so there are different types of the digesters. There are different types. There is a fixed dome, there is floating drum, prefabricated, using the plastic. I'll show you some of those pictures. Let's show them some pictures. There's a fixed dome. Let's move on. This is a floating drum. Yeah. So this is foldable digesters stored in balloons. Yeah, sure. So these are other types. You can move on. Let's move on. So there are various factors that we consider: the use of the gas, the feedstock characteristics, design parameters, structural considerations, sometimes the cost. We'll ask you, how much money do you have? and then we will tailor it to fit what you want. Yeah, so basically that is it. This is our website, and then our phone numbers you can call. We are under the Cleaner Production Center. We are in the, yeah, thank you.
Engineer Digbe, please, ladies and gentlemen. Engineer Digbe. The problem with engineers is that well, it's not really a problem, a feature, should I say. I've got to watch my words here. A feature of engineers is the amount of the contents that they put in their presentations. It's very dense, it's a lot of stuff. And so what I would suggest is that any hotel operators or any other tourist operators who really want to get some more information and guidance about this whole issue of biogas and sustainability, please buttonhole engineer when we're doing the networking and stuff. Please don't just rush off. This is where you can actually get the information you need for the promotion of your business. A few very, very quick announcements, and then I've got something special to tell you. Please, a reminder for all our participants and stakeholders, please follow Gatoff on social media. Please like and like and forward and all the rest of that. Please do that. The young technicians have asked me to make that for them. So please remember to do that for them. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we do have one more presentation, but I think that's going to be online. And because we're kind of, backing up, I'll have a quick suggestion, please. You've all been very patient, no fidgeting, nobody has coughed loudly or anything like that. I've been very impressed with people here. This is very first time I've actually said that. So what I want to do, I want to reward you. I would like to reward you, and I would like to propose a 5-minute comfort break so that you can go and stretch your legs and go out there. So you have 5 minutes. Please come back in 5 minutes. Thank you very much. We'll fix in some music in the meantime. Thank you. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I didn't even do the tap. Yeah, they can't do. Okay, let me do it. Shit, I will do the TAPEX here. Ladies and gentlemen, also another announcement. We want to try out some technological innovations here. Those of you who have your wristband, we'd like you to participate in the TAPEX experience. So, for example, if you go into the back there and you want to drink, you need to be able to use your wristband to tap in so that you can make your choice. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget the TAPEX experience. Please use your wristbands and approach the hospitality section if you want to choose a drink. I will be calling the assembly back in about 4 minutes, please. Thank you. 4 minutes.
The Unified Guest Experience Engine, digitizing the journey from entry to transaction.
Conference, we shall be back in 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes. Conference, we are back in 3 minutes, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please make your way back to your seats? The event is about to resume. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Next presentation is 5 minutes. Now you're swearing in because people are beginning to.
Okay, so. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Those waiting in line for refreshment, please return at the end of the program. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats.
People mistook it will have refreshment. So can they announce no one can answer?
Okay, I'll do that again.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. I appreciate you're very thirsty and you want refreshment, but we'd like to finish the program. Please take your seats. Waiters, would you ask your guests to return to their seats, please? Thank you. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The program is about to resume now. Please take your seats. Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to prepare you for our next speaker. Please, would you take your seats? Thank you very much.
AI.tix, the
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can make a start now.
TIX, the Unified Guest Experience Engine, digitizing the journey from entry to transaction. Key impacts: revenue protection, eliminates leakage by unifying ticketing and payments.
Thank
into
you,
a
technical
single,
team. The program
traceable
is about to
digital
start.
ecosystem.
Can you switch off the monitors, please?
Frictionless
Thank you.
tourism.
Thank you very much.
Replaces physical cash and long
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker has already been introduced to us somewhat. But the particular need for our next speaker is for them to make an emphasis on the ceremony that is about to take place here. And so, with the remaining amount of people still standing, if I start counting to 10, starting from 10, hopefully when I get to 1, everybody would have been able to be seated. Thank you very much. I'm on 7 now. 4. 1, 0. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the strategic session of the first part of the day. We're now going on to the second session, which is the highlights for this program's timeline. We are going to have a ceremony where we shall ask the committee members, chairpersons, to take an oath. An oath will be administered unto them. And it's very important that before this session takes place, our chairpersons and all the participants here are reminded as to why we're here. We have an excellent personality here who has had decades of experience in global leadership, business, and academia. He is not only a traditional ruler, but he is also a very much respected member of our revered Council of State. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium His Excellency, His Royal Majesty Drolo Boso Adamite I. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please.
Thank you. I got the invitation quite late yesterday when I was about to leave the office. I wanted to know who was inviting me, and I saw the name of our president, which is President Okran. So I asked my office to call and ask, who is inviting me this late? And traditionally and protocol-wise, I don't accept invitations that had not been vetted by my staff. Then I said, let me call one person that I respect and regard so much in this space, with Ghana Tourism Authority, Mami Efua. And when I called, she responded, and she made it difficult for me to say no. I started by saying, this cannot be, I can't come. But she said, okay, you are coming this time, this day, and I said, okay. So I have to change all of my plans to make it here today. So I'm grateful to be with you today. So, very good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, honorable representatives from the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts, Ghana Tourism Federation, and Ghana Tourism Authority, respected committee members, and our respected traditional leaders, Nime, Neneme, Name, Nananum, I am honored, even though the invitation came late, to be here at least to speak, provoke you, ignite passion in you, and also cause you to see that this gathering is for a specific purpose. Very soon we'll be swearing in new members to literally bring Ghana Tourism Foundation forth. I want to salute the Federation for this audacious leap towards this unbreakable unity in what you attempt to do. I commend you for your solid rock, core values, because this is what can catapult Ghana to Africa's unrivaled tourism throne. I trust that this gathering is not just a ritual. It is a thunderous call to arms. Your new committees are not paper structures, but blazing engines of transformation, fueled by ironclad integrity, fierce accountability, and game-changing results. Let me just say that tourism had not been taken too serious in this part of our world. And if we allow this meeting to go as planned, then I believe the concept of tourism will be looked at quite differently in our country. I happen to be the Chancellor of the Caribbean Maritime University. I was invited by the King of Morocco to receive an award. And whilst I was there, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Education, and the President of the Caribbean Maritime University came all the way, and they came to Morocco purposefully to meet me and convince me that it is important for me to accept a role in the educational development of Jamaica and at least support them or give them a global face so that they'll be able to accomplish their goals. I nicely informed them I'm already a chancellor in Ghana. I can't give myself to another interest other than what I was doing. They said, no, we need you. We want you. And I tried to find out why they needed me, and they shared it with me in such a compelling way that I couldn't say no, but to accept. I was privileged to meet some of the finest people in Jamaica, and amongst them were all the Rastafarian groups in Jamaica. All the groups came together to meet with me. I happened to stay in Bob Marley's first home, and I happened to actually be visited by the Prime Minister's wife, had dinner with me, as well as the leaders across the country. And all that I heard from the people in Jamaica was this: we want to come to Ghana. They invited me to a meeting. I sat around. They came in their numbers, and they said to me, besides Haile Selassie, you are the second traditional ruler or king that has come to our country. We know that you are the Chancellor of the Caribbean Maritime University, but we believe that the sun rises in the east and sets in the West. So we believe you are our new leader. I reminded them that I couldn't be their new leader because I am also a follower, and my leader is called Jesus Christ. I made clear to them that not only am I doing what I'm doing in Jamaica as a call, but I believe it is a mission. And they said to me, we want to come to Ghana. And I said to them, what will you do when you come to Ghana? And most of them said, we have to come to the motherland. It is incredible when you experience the energy that comes out of people who sees what we take for granted as a treasure and a lifelong dream. I jokingly said to them, we are actually working on this. Our government is working to create opportunities for those in the Caribbean states to be able to come to Ghana without visas. But one thing, you can't come here with ganja. Because if you come here, we'll put you in prison. Everywhere I went in Jamaica, the fact that I was a Ghanaian stirred in them a desire to visit Ghana. And anyone who comes to your country for a visit is a tourist. And anyone who comes to Accra and goes back to their regions, as long as they don't live in Accra, they are tourists. Any visitor to any place other than the place of your birth, the place of your domicile, you are a tourist. We haven't taken our tourism too serious. But anywhere you go in the world, there's a sound you hear. And the sound is provoked by one man. He's dead, but he's still speaking. You may be dead physically, but you still live. So in reality, people who impact the world don't die. Their name lives, their music lives, their books lives, and their instruction still lives in the hearts and minds of those who allow themselves to take wisdom to another level. The simple statement put forth by a very important icon of Jamaica, who is more important than any political figure, Bob Marley, simply said, come to Jamaica and everything is going to be all right. He has demonstrated that tourism is not politics, and politics should not be tourism. Our biggest problem in Ghana is that we are hindering our value, hindering our influence, hindering our prosperity, hindering our wealth, because we are confusing genuine business, opportunities, and national dignity with politics. No matter who comes in the office in Jamaica, Bob Marley is your icon. So tourism is not about government. Tourism is about personalities, or those who make a place so attractive that people don't want to stay away, but come close. We always try our very best to be photocopies. What is our problem? We always copy what others have done and copy it right. And when they even move on, we're still holding on to what they left behind. That is why we have so many industries that repair instruments, machineries that are no longer in existence. We are consumers, but we don't know how to sell. If we are going to take this gathering very serious, then we are going to find out that nothing can stop our collective prosperity or our greatness or the industry or the group or company that you represent or you're part of. There are so many networks, but I conclude that networks, that doesn't lead you to proper connection, is waste of time. What we need is connection. Can we connect the dots? What will make this gathering, these new officials that are going to be recognized or sworn in, and everyone here present, leave this place challenged to take the little that you have and multiply it. Make sure that the business that you represent does well. You can sell whatever, and you can be innovative. Don't wait for somebody to do it first before you copy it. Start something. But remember, those who start and believe in what they've started and don't listen to the negatives or naysayers are those whose vision becomes a reality. Let's take this tourism business very serious. There's so much money to be made. Do you know something? Every Catholic dreams of going to Italy, to Vatican. And every Christian dreams of going to Israel to be baptized in River Jordan. So even our preachers here, some of them are so smart. They've never been to Israel. They go to the gutter and fetch water and says, this is from Israel. And people will buy it at all costs. They are touristically selling you a product from a place they've never been. Every Muslim wants to go to Mecca. But rightly said, it's all business. It's all business. The Jewish government doesn't believe in Christianity, but it believes in Christian money. We have a beautiful country. We have amazing stories to tell. We have a beautiful culture to represent. And we have opportunity to make the diaspora find it difficult to stay away from Ghana. We have people who come here with plaited hairs, but they come here and have their hair changed. We have something to give, something to represent. But we are waiting. And how long are we going to wait? Let's take these gatherings quite serious. Let's change our minds. And let's be resolved or resolute that we are going to take opportunities. It's good to pray, but it's good to act. I like to pray because I am also a minister of the gospel, and I've done that since 1966. But one thing I've realized that if prayer can solve all problems, Ghana and Nigeria will never have a problem. We've got to work. And we have to believe in what we have. You may have a product which people may not recognize, but you can make it difficult for people not to want what you have. We have to learn how to market ourselves and do it right. You know, there are so many people who take advantage of crises because in crises, that is when others thrive. This is the best time with what is happening in the world to move tourism in Ghana to another level. And if we can actually add to this discussion that we have to have what we call certain national marks or national roles or national responsibilities or national tasks which should not be touched by any political party, but should allow for the citizens to drive, then I'll tell you, once the people are moving the country forward, the country makes money, people make money, and Ghana becomes happy. What do you have that you can actually make use of? What ideas do you have that you can actually promote or make it add to the tourism drive? The bottom line is tourism makes money. There are people who would travel from Europe and go to Jamaica and spend so much money and eventually consider Jamaica their homes. We have every right to make tourism in Ghana so attractive that people cannot stay away from us. Take advantage of this gathering. Make use of the information you receive and help us transform tourism in Ghana and put some money in your pocket. Thank you, and God bless you.
One more time for His Majesty as he takes his seat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there you have it, a stirring call to action, right? We have heard so many summaries from our speakers, all of them inspirational. With our last speaker, I stand here particularly inspired to go into action. Let us heed the words of our guest speaker here, our royal guest speaker. Let's make the most of what we can of Gatof. Let's make the most of what we can from this gathering. Let's make the most of what we can about the industry players who are here, who are seeking collaborators. I have a very important announcement, which I'm just going to use my time to make very quickly, and this is from Hot Cats. Hot Cats are willing, anxious to hear from other operators and collaborators in the field about this training module that they're trying to roll out. And they seek your feedback, they seek your input. So please, message from Hot Cat is that rather than wait after we've left here and phone them, they're here right now. We've just heard wonderful words from Dr. Eric. He's here with his two assistants, Eunice and Grace. If we could just see them, yes, Eunice and Grace, they are here to take your questions and all your inquiries about the training modules. Please make use of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. We're now going to progress to the penultimate stage of this gathering here today. We are here to swear in the committee chairpersons. This is an August occasion. Whilst they're getting the pledges organized, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you, please, to just give your final attention to this matter. After we finish with the swearing in, and we're going to ask the minister's representative to come and make a speech and then crown the day. So with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to continue. Have we got our chairpersons ready, please? We need to administer the oath. All of them, yes, all of them. All the committee chairpersons here and committee members and chairpersons, please make your way to the front, please. Please make your way, committee chairpersons and members, please. Please make your way to the front. Please note that after we've done with this ceremony, then we can have our final virtual presentation, which promises to be actually very important. So please stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay with us. Committee chairpersons and committee members, please make your way to the podium. Please. Thank you. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, okay, sure. Okay, so if you just take me please. This is the swearing in.
you want to turn this or turn it over? What do you want it?
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather yourselves. It's a very solemn occasion. We're going to swear in our committee members. Please gather yourselves, still yourselves, please. Thank you.
As we get ready to swear you in, we want you to know the importance of this commitment. This is what climaxed today's gathering. And also this is what affirms your responsibility, assignment, and commitment to Ghana Tourism Foundation. Federation, thank you. Ghana Tourism Federation. Okay, thank you. As we get ready to make this solemn pledge, I would like you to follow closely. When I start with I, you will fill it with your name, then you follow me after the reading. So may the Lord help you, and may your commitment and your vow today stay true. May your commitment to Ghana Tourism Federation be an example for many to follow. So please, come after me. I, having been appointed a member of the Finance and Investment Committee of the Ghana Tourism Federation, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties with integrity, diligence, and accountability. I pledge to uphold the Constitution and decisions of the Federation, serve the collective interest of the tourism industry, and promote unity, professionalism, and ethical leadership. I also commit to advance sustainable tourism development, improve service standards, and working collaboratively with members of the committee and all stakeholders for the growth of Ghana's tourism economy. I will act at all times. Again, I will act at all times. And for the last time, and I will act at all times in the best interest of the Federation and the nation. So God be my helper. Amen. May the Lord, who we've declared as your helper, remind you of this day, and may your commitment prove that it's not a mistake for your appointment. Be an example. Make sure that your works speaks well of the Federation, and make sure that because of you and your actions, the Federation has the respect it commands, not only in this country, but beyond our borders. respectfully, you can do this job. You're qualified. You have more than it takes. And we pray for prosperity and favor upon you. God bless you. They mention that. Okay. If not, then I'll fix it. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. God bless you. I like that. Thank you.
Could we have our media personalities come to the front? You can take your pictures now, please. With the media, please come to the front now. Take your pictures now. Thank you. Do we have our saxophonist here? Sax Bossa. Sax Bossa, give us a few bars. Yeah? Give us a few bars now. Quickly. Thank you. Please allow the members of the media to take their shots unhindered, please. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. You have just one more minute, and then we're going to take some very important pictures before our special guest has to leave. We're taking a few important photos with GATOF President, our guest, and the committee members, and the CEO of the Ghana Tourist Authority. So please stay behind. We're going to take the pictures now, please. Can we have the our speakers please come to the front, please? Dr. Kobe, Dr. Eric. Please join Madame Mamiefoa, please, at the front. Mamiefoa Wajetu, please, at the front. All our speakers, our first speakers, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have the committee chairs, please? The committee chairpersons, please. Committee chairpersons. Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, so that we can get this thing out of the way. Committee chairpersons, please, with the GATOF President and the CEO of the Ghana Tourist Authority, please. Very quickly. Good. Thank you very much. Just adjust the volume a little bit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we have all the agencies under the ministry, please? And the GATOF executives, please. GATOF executives, please come to the front now, please. Thank you. GATOF executives, please. And the governing council. GATOF executive and the governing council, please come and take your pictures. Governing council, please. Governing council, please come forward. Governing council, please. Do we have the governing council, please? We're going to follow that very quickly. with the committee members. Have we got the committee members yet? Chairpersons? Okay, thank you. Two more shots, and then we'll go on to the next one, please, ladies and gentlemen. And we have all agencies under the ministry, if they're here, to come and take their picture. And we'll follow that. We'll follow that with the picture of our generals, our security advisors, please. Very important. Governing Council, please. Done? Thank you very much. All agencies under the ministry, please. Agencies under the ministry. All available CEOs. And the deputy CEOs too as well, please. Of the GTA. Mr. Santana, please report. All agencies under the ministry, please. Thank you. All agencies under the ministry. And deputy CEOs, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Teddy, can you please come to the front, please? We need to sort out this timing. It's almost 1:30. We can have our virtual session now. Otherwise, I'm going to ask our final speaker to get himself ready. The final photo session is with the generals. That will be the last session. So we're going to have the generals, please, with the president of GATOF. Generals, please. Can we have the generals, please, with the GATOF president? Generals, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. After this final session, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you to take your seats. We're going to have the final speech by the minister's representative who unfortunately has to leave us and return to his office. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the final speech, and then we'll close everything with the best virtual presentation you've ever experienced in your life, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please can you come back to your seats? We have a very important message from the minister. Please take your seats. Thank you, Bobby Self. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you once again for your kind attention. You've been very disciplined all throughout the afternoon, and now we are going to take in probably the most significant address for this afternoon. It's an address from the minister, the Venerable Minister herself, who unfortunately was not able to attend due to pressing work commitments. However, she has asked that her Director of Tourism come in her stead. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following developments in the tourism sector, you know that there's been quite a lot of work here. Our next speaker is someone who has been entrusted with a very heavy portfolio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo, please, to give the minister's address. Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo, please. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Please, those still standing, take your seats now. Those at the back, please return to your seats. Let us give full respect to the minister's representative. I thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I felt after Nene Drolo Boso Adamte the first spoke, that should have been the end of this section. But since I was sent here by the Honorable Minister, I had no choice than to deliver her statement. So with your kind permission, I would like to deliver the Honorable Minister's statement. I'll also dwell on the existing protocols, since the protocol is quite tall, and maybe acknowledge just a few and deliver the Honorable Minister's statement. It's unfortunate the Royal Majesty Nene Drolo Boso Adamte had left, but then I acknowledge him, the executives of Ghana Tourism Federation, the heads of agencies of MOTCA, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, representative of HOTCAT, Professor Kweku Boakye, distinguished industry stakeholders, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is both a privilege and a moment of renewed hope for our sector for me to join you today for the swearing-in ceremony of the leadership of the Ghana Tourism Federation and this important media engagement that signals a new era of collaboration. Today's theme, Stronger Together for Tourism and Hospitality Growth, is not merely aspirational, it is instructive. It speaks to the truth we can no longer overlook, that the future of Ghana's tourism and hospitality industry depends not only on isolated efforts, but on deliberate, structured, and sustained partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism by its true nature is a unifier. It connects people, cultures, ideas, and economies. It thrives on coordination, flourishes through trust, and succeeds when stakeholders are aligned behind a shared vision. This is why the coming together of the Ghana Tourism Federation, the Ghana Tourism Authority, HOTCAT, among others, under a common initiative, is both timely and commendable. It represents the alignment of policy, regulation, training, and industry practice, and the very pillars upon which a global competitive tourism sector is built. Distinguished guests, government remains fully committed to creating an enabling environment for the sector to thrive. Through the Black Star experience, we are imagining Ghana's tourism narrative, one that is bold, immersive, and globally competitive. But let me be clear, government cannot do this alone. We need a strong private sector, skilled professionals, innovation, and above all, we need unity. This is why partnerships such as this are critical. To the newly sworn-in executives of GATOF, I extend my warmest congratulations. Your leadership assumes office at a defining moment in our national journey to reposition tourism as a key driver of economic transformation, job creation, cultural diplomacy. You bear the responsibility of uniting a diverse and dynamic private sector, from hoteliers and tour operators to creative entrepreneurs in the tourism and hospitality service providers. Your mandate is clear: to amplify your voices, advocate for their interest, and ensure their contributions are effectively integrated into national development priorities. The collaboration with HOTCAT highlights the critical importance of human capital development. A thriving tourism industry is not only as strong as the professionalism, competence, and adaptability of its workforce. Investment in training, certification, and continuous capacity building is therefore non-negotiable if we are to meet and exceed international standards. Equally, the role of the Ghana Tourism Authority remains pivotal in ensuring quality service, effective regulation, and strategic destination promotion. Together, this tripartite collaboration holds immense potential to redefine how we plan, manage, and sustainably grow tourism in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look ahead, I urge all stakeholders to embrace cooperation over competition. Let us dismantle working in silos, foster knowledge sharing, and build networks that empower small and medium enterprises, stimulate innovation, and attract investment into our sector. We must also remain mindful of the rapidly evolving global tourism landscape. Today's traveler seeks authenticity and sustainability, and meaningfully and mindfully, Ghana is uniquely positioned to meet this demand, not only if we act collectively and decisively. To the media, your role in shaping perceptions and telling the Ghana story cannot be overstated. We count on your continual partnership to project a compelling, authentic, and positive narrative of our offering to the global community. To our collaborating institutions, I commend your vision and encourage you to sustain this momentum. Let this initiative mark not a one-off effort, but the beginning of a long-term structured cooperation and growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to build a resilient, inclusive, and global competitive tourism and hospitality industry, then we must stand united as public and private sector operatives in policy and practice, through tradition and innovation. Indeed, we are stronger together. On this note, I congratulate the newly sworn-in leadership once again and wish you great success in your tenure. May your leadership bring unity. May your effort yield growth. And may Ghana tourism sector rise greater heights. Thank you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Dr. Geoffrey Tamaklo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Our gratitude to the minister and her representative for giving us that stirring word. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the close of this gathering here. Just a few very important announcements. Hot Cats want to make it very clear that what they are trying to do is get some feedback and some collaboration with hotel operators to do with the training hub. It's not the training model, the training hub, where they're going to have different training centers all across the country. Hot Cat is very, very keen on that, and Gatoff is supporting them with that. So please, Grace and her colleague Eunice are at the back there. Please approach them if you need some further information. All right, we're going to have a very quick virtual session. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, but it has to be done, ladies and gentlemen. So please bear with us. We're just going to finish this nicely, have a smooth landing, and then we'll disembark quietly, safely, and cleanly. Okay? Thank you so much for that. All right? Are we ready with the virtual thing now? I have something here that I need to read for you if you take your time, but it's going to be virtual. So the person who's doing the presentation actually is halfway across the other side of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, a bit more information. And I'll just read the message here very quickly. Distinguished leadership of the Ghana Tourism Federation, esteemed presidents and executives of our trade associations and partners in national progress. As we convene at this Gatoff press briefing, we recognize that the future of our industry is no longer dictated by guesswork, but by the precision of sovereign intelligence. To lead us into this digital frontier, we are joined virtually by a visionary whose work sits at the intersection of technology and economic transformation. Kindly join me in welcoming Chief Executive Officer and innovator of Optimity Group and the lead strategic innovation partner of the Renaissance Bridge Framework. He's here to unveil the transformative potential of granular data across our most vital sectors, from the heights of events and entertainment to the essential pillars of hospitality, tourism, travel, and transport. Crucially, Mario will address the integration of banking and financial services, providing the secure digital payment architecture necessary to sustain our collective growth. His presentation represents the digital backbone of our vision, Mario N.R. Sparks. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to launch straight into the virtual world. Tighten your seatbelts.
And the lead innovation partner, Renaissance. He's here to prepare the transformative potential granular data across our most vital sectors.
Accompanying the soulful sounds of Bobby Sachs here is an announcement that I need to make. Please, the Restaurant Association members, please, you're going to have an urgent strategy session after this at the lead table right up the front, please. Restaurant Association members, please don't go far. How are we doing with the virtual thing? Are we there yet? Bobby, it looks like we need to hear you play some more. Keep playing until we tell you to stop. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, for a very fine alto saxophonist, Mr. Bobby Sachs. Bobby Saxo, please. Give him a round of applause. Let's appreciate him. He's filled in quite well for us. Thank you. We continue to acknowledge our members who are here today. It wouldn't be fair if we didn't call out this name, so as Bobby keeps playing, please. Mr. Michael Sapong, President, the Car Rentals Association of Ghana. Mr. Emmanuel Boateng, President, African Tribal Writers Association. Mrs. Kate Hassan, President, Event Vendors Association of Ghana. Mr. Victor Wusu, President, Ghana Traditional Caterers Association. Mr. Caleb Kofi, President, Service Excellence. And I think we're about ready. A round of applause for our saxophonist, the solo accompaniment, please. Excellent. If you can inform Mario that we're waiting for him to put on his mic.
Oh, can everybody hear me?
Yes, Mr. Sparks, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Hey, I'm actually trying to share, so if you could give me privilege share. Perfect. Can everyone see my screen? Or just trying to confirm that I'm coming across clearly, audio and video.
Yes, thank you, Mario. We're waiting to hear from you. Yes, go ahead, please. We're all ears. Thank you. Sorry for the delay.
Sure. I wasn't sure if everyone could hear me and see my screen. So thanks a lot for that. All right. Thanks again to everybody for having me present today. I will keep this very high level. Thanks to GATOF, thanks to President Akron, the ministers, and the entire delegation. So, Myra Sparks here, founder and CEO for the Optimity Group, presenting all the way from Jamaica. And as it was said earlier, we in Jamaica, we absolutely love the culture in Ghana. We are kindred spirits, and of course we were stolen from Ghana, so we have a great affinity to East Africa. Now we, at the Optimity Group, we have developed a number of different products that we believe, and through the partnership with Rock Factory could shape and define how tourism is managed in Ghana. And there are a number of platforms that we have. Because of time, of course, I will just quickly touch on a few of those platforms today. I think I'll just try and keep it at about 10 minutes. Now, one of the key problems that we are trying to face, or we're trying to fix, and the key problems that we face in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and similarly in Africa, is when it comes to spends, right? When tourists come to the Caribbean, and likewise in Ghana, the ability for the diaspora or general tourists to actually transact with locals who may not have credit card machines, and that essentially translates to them potentially losing sale. Now, we have our platform called CapEx, and it's pretty very simple. And what it allows when the members of the diaspora or tourists come to, whether it is Accra or wherever in Ghana, they're able to top up their e-wallet, right? And as you are able to see from our screen, the form factor is designed where it looks very nicely on a mobile phone. So the tourists, they're able to top up their wallet, and because of course, as you can imagine, not everyone will have Momo, and the smaller vendors may not have a credit card machine to pay. So what they would essentially do is go on, add their credit card, they can add CDs, and they're able to pay with their credit card, or they're able to pay with a QR code, right? Now, if it is that you have a family visiting as well, or let's say your daughter, your son, or a group, you are able to add different members to your account, and of course you are able to then move monies to the different individuals. You can see here on my screen this demo user, David Davis, who's traveling with his two children, Jake and Emma, and he's able to essentially move money to their wallet, and they're able to spend once they log in with their QR code, as well as with a wristband, similarly to the wristband you have on your arm right now. Now, they're able to essentially set daily limits. Let's say they're out and about, weekly limits, monthly limits, depending on what the scenario is. And they're also able to control where the funds are spent based on what we have down here in terms of block categories. So our platform can be used across sector, it can be used across education, it can be used across government, for welfare programs, it can be used for programs that are structured by the government to control or to give funding to the less fortunate, right? So I'll just quickly jump to what the POS looks like. Now, this is obviously on my monitor, but essentially this is what the vendors would have. So all they would need is an Android phone, right? What we call our EPOS, or electronic POS, would be on their phone. They would simply log in, and when the tourist comes with their account, they would scan the QR code that the tourist presents, or they would essentially tap the wristband of the tourist or the room key. Now, that same wristband that I'm referring to could be the wristband from the hotel, right? It could be the room key from the hotel. So what we aim to do at Optimity Group is to essentially close the ecosystem between the consumer and the merchants who may not have the necessary wherewithal to have a credit card machine, or to have an inventory system or point of sale system at hand, right? So we try to essentially bring in all the enterprise features so that the smaller vendors are able to take advantage of the same opportunities, the same features that larger entity would have, right? So this essentially looked at CapEx and what the partnership between Optimity Group and GATOF will seek to deploy in Accra and right across Ghana, where it seeks to enhance how spend are done between tourists and small vendors, between diaspora, small vendors, between students in schools, between government and beneficiaries, let's say after a disaster, right? I'll quickly jump to the other platform that we have, which is our event platform, right? Now, a part of tourism is well, not just tourism, but GATOF has under its umbrella events, tours, etc. Now, what we have built is an event, festival, conference ecosystem. Right now, our platform doesn't only seek to sell tickets online, but it allows the different organizers, the different conference holders, to manage and operate their events, quite effectively. Now, there are a number of different, innovations that we have placed in our platform, and what I'll do, I'll just quickly, share my screen on my phone so you're able to see exactly what that looks like, right? So just give me a second, please. All right, so I'm assuming everyone can see my phone. Now, a part of our event platform, we have, enhanced how connectivity can be done at events, at conferences, at festivals, at trade missions. And imagine, through the checkout process when you're buying your ticket, you are asked to fill in, and let me just kind of quickly go back to my screen here so you're able to visualize exactly what I'm referring to. Now, a traditional platform, when you log in, and this is essentially a live event that we're doing in Jamaica. Once you are buying your ticket, all it asks you for is simple information which everybody is familiar with, right? Our platform, once you add the tickets and you go to checkout, we have enhanced our data collection so it benefits the organizer and increases the experience for the patron. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? We have something called AITix Connect. Now, once the tickets are bought, you're able to enter your socials, and once those socials are entered, it allows for easy connection throughout an event. Now, imagine a scenario where, similar to what happened earlier, when you get to the door, your name is searched, your QR code is scanned, and you're given a wristband. Now, you would have, let's say you meet somebody, at the conference, and you say, hey, I would like to, connect with you going forward. So as opposed to taking out, your QR code or exchanging numbers, someone can essentially just take their phone and tap your wristband. Right? Now, what that does is essentially load all the information that you have entered here before. Now, I'm going to quickly switch back to my phone so you're able to see what that looks like in real time. Right. So essentially, I'm an attendee. I would walk up to myself and I say, hey, hi, I'm Mario, and the other person would essentially just tap their phone on my wristband, and it essentially loads your contact card with all the information that you have entered when you are essentially buying your ticket. So what we have done is removed the need for walking around with your QR code, walking around with your business card, and we have enhanced the experience or the ease at which connections can be made at an event or at a festival. Now, what I'm doing is essentially walking you through the experience of a potential guest at the event. Now, they would have received their wristband, And now let's say they want to get their badge printed for a conference, and think about it as a conference, right? Now let me quickly go to our badge printer here. So we've also made the badge printing process a lot easier. Now somebody essentially walks over to the badge station. It's a phone, it's a device. They now tap their wristband on the device, and I did a test here before, so let me just so essentially it loads all your details in a template, and as opposed to your traditional conference process where you are searching for different badges within or on a table, the individual simply tap the wristband on a device. It loads their data that would have been collected before, and you essentially print that badge, and it goes to the printer. Right now, we've collected our badge, and we're inside the conference now. So let me then move to what an exhibitor station would look like. Now let's say, for example, you move past the entrance and you're inside the exhibitor floor, and you walk to a station. Now we have this dummy station set up called Test Forum, right? And the person at the booth said, hey, how are you? As opposed to start, asking, hey, what's your name? The individual just simply taps your wristband, and on their phone, it starts to load everything about you. Now, the AI that's built in on the back end now starts to pull all the information about the individual, right? And it now gives you talking points. Okay, this person has gone to, two other banks before. They went to Zenith Bank station, they go to EcoBank. So therefore, they might be looking for a loan, right? Let's say they would have gone to two other booths that may be selling, ground produce or selling some other products. Now, it essentially guides you and say, hey, Mario Sparks has gone to these different stations. He's probably interested in this. These are the points that you need to deal with, right? You are able to then, we have our lead capture section where you are able to set if it's a hot, warm, or cold lead. And then you essentially save that, and afterwards now you're able to essentially follow up with the person that was at the station, right? Now let me jump to our backend quickly. Any questions so far, everyone? Pretty good?
Yes, it's all pretty clear so far, Mario. Thanks.
Brilliant. Let me switch back here. Okay, perfect. Now, this is again our backend for for event or festival ecosystem, for the individuals who typically either put on events or you have your destination management company where you manage trade missions within your ministry. Now there are a few things that I want to essentially touch on, and as I mentioned before, this isn't simply a ticketing platform. It's a platform that allows you to manage your entire operations, right? Now, there is one feature that I want to touch on here, which is essentially our forecast feature. Now, this allows anyone who manages events to be able to go on and set different parameters about your event, set different parameters about your conference, and the artificial intelligence that's built on the back end essentially helps you, spit out all your requirements, whether it's your bars, your stations, etc., right? So our platform and all the tech that we have essentially seeks to help the entire ecosystem, the organizers, ministries, the consumers, have a much better experience, right? Now, as I said, this our platform is extremely deep, and we could go on and on, but I will simply stop right there. And if there are any questions, Edward and Don on the ground will be able to direct them accordingly, or we can have follow-up meetings set and scheduled.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you with us so far? Bear with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important part of the plans for GATOF. So please bear with us. We are going to review the whole training mechanism so that it will make it easier for people to take it in. But may I ask if Mario, do we still have Mario online?
Yes, I am.
Do we still have you, sir? Because I got the impression that you were concluding.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, thank you. Please continue. We have another minute and a half left. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I will quickly jump to another platform that we have in our deck. Let me be sure. Now, the platform that you actually see on screen, and just to be clear, or yes, I'm seeing that's okay, perfect. This platform is called ATM 360. Now, this was developed to enhance the operations of banks in the Caribbean. Now, I'm not sure how many individuals in the room are, in the banking sector, but one of the biggest problems that we have in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, is the uptime of ATMs across the country. And this was created so that citizens are able to simply, go on our platform or a link that is tied to a banking page and see, as you can see based on the map here, understand which ATMs are online, the services that the ATMs offer, i.e. deposit, withdrawal, because what typically happens is, it frustrates, possible driving around, and the Bank of Jamaica, has, essentially given very strict directives for the banks to implement systems that will help, one, reduce downtime and also increase efficiency for its customers. Now, I'll just quickly, show you what the backend looks like. It's a very quick run through. Essentially, what a NOC operator would see from the banking side, and it shows the ATMs that are online. It gives all the alerts, and it helps the bank to manage how they respond and monitor from a cash in transit to different security issues with the ATMs. For example, when I click on here, I'm able to monitor, anti-skimming at an ATM. I'm able to monitor, for example, a card blacklist. Let's say, for example, if a card was stolen and reported, and this is entered into the blacklist, once that card enters or is placed in the ATM, it triggers the action that is defined by the bank, right? So this is one of the platforms that we have that goes through the partnership with.
Thank you, Mario. Sorry, Mario, I don't interrupt you. As they say, I don't cut you. But we have a next session right after this, and them day outside are wait pound way. So we are gonna lock off right here now. See? Yeah, man, blessed Lord. But we are going to do this again, you know, and call you next time and do a proper training session where we have more time to go through all them technical sitting where you give away. So, Mr. Mario, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, for Mario Sparks. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've just about cracked it, haven't we? I would like to call upon the General Secretary of GATOF to come and give us the closing remarks, and then I will request Madam Pinamang to give us the vote of thanks. We are going to call upon our excellent evangelist for the day to give us our closing prayer. And ladies and gentlemen, that will wait. But for now, please welcome Mr. General Secretary, Mr. Amati. General Secretary, Mr. Amati, please, to give his closing remarks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and your attention, please.
Okay, I also still stand on all existing protocol. On behalf of the Ghana Tourism Federation, I extend our sincere appreciation to you all for being part of today's important event. Today has been more than a gathering. It has been a clear statement of intent, thought, the insightful presentations, the thought-provoking keynotes, and the successful swearing in of our functional committees. We have demonstrated our readiness to move forward with purpose. Our team today, Stronger Together for Tourism, Hospitality and Hospitality Growth, speaks directly to what we have witnessed here. Collaboration, innovation, and shared responsibility. These are the pillars upon which the future of Ghana's tourism industry must stand. The initiative presented today, from empowering women in tourism to embracing fintech solutions to promoting sustainability, shows that we are not only thinking ahead, but we are preparing to act. To our newly sworn-in committee members, the work begins now. Your roles are critical in driving accountability, shaping policy, delivering results that will impact the industry and the nation at large. We also acknowledged the continuous support of our partners, particularly the Ghana Tourism Authority and all allied institutions, as well as our media partners, for helping to amplify our message. As we live here, let us remain committed to action. Together, we can build a tourism sector that is resilient, inclusive, and globally competitive. On this note, I thank you all and officially bring this program to a close. Thank you.
Thank you. This, our hard-working, indefatigable General Secretary. One more time for Mr. Amate, please. And ladies and gentlemen, final reminder, please. The Ghana Restaurant Association is encouraging everybody here and its new members. Please go to the head table there. They would like to discuss a strategy going forward. All Restaurant Association members, if you're here, kindly report to the table at the head here. May I ask Madam Pinamang, Edith Pinamang, please, to approach to give us the vote of thanks. Edith Pinamang, please. Is she here? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, she's coming from way back, and so you have to keep clapping until she gets here. She's the one that's going to thank everybody, and thank you all. So please, continue until she reaches here. Thank you. Ms. Pinamang.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm standing on all existing protocols because I think time is fast spent. So on behalf of the Executive Council and the entire Ghana Tourism Federation, I have the singular honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks at the close of this historic ceremony. First and foremost, we give thanks to the Almighty God for his guidance, protection, and grace that have brought us together successfully today. This occasion marks not just media briefing and swearing in of the committees for the Federation and working groups, but also the beginning of a renewed commitment to unity, professionalism, and sustainable growth within Ghana's tourism hospitality industry. We are deeply honored by the presence of our reverend chiefs and traditional leaders. Nananom, your wisdom, cultural stewardship, and continued support for the tourism and hospitality industry as a vehicle for heritage preservation and community development inspires us greatly. You have added color and traditional flavor to the occasion. We are sincerely grateful. To our honorable ministers and representatives of government, we thank you for your leadership, policy direction, and unwavering support for the tourism and hospitality industry as a key pillar of national development. Your presence today reinforces government's commitment to public-private sector collaborations. We extend our profound appreciation to members of the diplomatic corps. Your participation affirms Ghana's growing relevance on the global tourism hospitality stage and strengthens international cooperation, investment, and cultural exchange. To the trade associations under the Ghana Tourism Federation, we thank you for your resilience, professionalism, and collective effort in shaping a vibrant and inclusive tourism industry. To members of the committees and working groups, we say the Council stands with you to diligently and collaboratively serve to promote the private sector of tourism and hospitality, by extension, the tourism industry in Ghana. To our friends in the media, we are grateful for your partnership in telling Ghana's tourism story, amplifying our successes and upholding us accountable. We count on your continued support. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, your presence has added dignity and significance to the ceremony. We do not take it for granted. As I conclude, allow me to express our gratitude in the spirit of global unity and cultural diversity. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. Vielen Dank. Grazie mille. Cheche. Arigato. Shukran. Asante sana. Nagode. Siyabonga. Midamwasi. Oyiwaladong. Akwena mikata. Barika. Yes. So, once again, thank you for all your invaluable contributions and support. May God bless us all. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're having the closing prayer, please. The closing prayer from Dr. Edward Aka Nyamike Jr.
Shall we be on our feet? Let's be on our feet in all reverence to God as we say the closing prayer. Once again, we are praying in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Gracious and merciful Lord, we thank you so much for today. Indeed, we are grateful for what we have observed here today. We are grateful for what we have experienced here today. We are grateful for the foundation that has been laid today for the good works for Ghana Tourism Federation. We thank you for your presence that has made all this possible. We ask thee that you continue to support the Federation. You continue to guide the Federation. You continue to grant wisdom to the leadership of the Federation so that all the goals and objectives that has been set will be achieved. We pray for all those who gathered here right from morning to this point. We ask for traveling mercies as we all go back to our destinations, and we pray that your continuous presence will continue to make the difference in our lives. We thank you for Mother Ghana, and we thank you for the peace that you continue to let us enjoy, which is making our tourism and hospitality industry grow. We bless your holy name. As we live here, we are not leaving your presence because we know you continue to be with us. We thank you once again. In the mighty name of Jesus, we have prayed in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
Hey, morning, Anankas.